Hi, my name is Felipe Polier and I'm the head of the new United Nations Youth Office.
Hello, my name is Fatou Dieng from the Gambia, founder of Clean Out Gambia and one of the youth advisors to the United Nations Secretary General. We are here to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. So my first question to you, Felipe, when you think about the future, how do you feel and why?
Okay, I feel optimistic. My experience these past days have been of getting to know a lot of powerful young people which are doing incredible things in their home countries, in their territories, and that's what makes to me to be optimistic. Although I feel we have to do a lot in order to continue to engage the young people and to give opportunities for more people to make and to put their ideas and their voice in the decision-making tables. But what about you? What was your climate spark? What got you into this movement?
I come from the Gambia, a country with less than just 3 million people. However, what sparked my interest and motivated me to join the climate movement was I am a daughter of a farmer. My dad has been a farmer for the longest time. But over the years, I saw how the impacts of climate change affected his main source of income, which is agriculture. And I was born and raised in Banjul. Banjul is the capital city of the Gambia, a home to over 35,000 people. But my city is at a risk or vulnerable to rise in sea level. And scientists have mentioned that if the sea level rises for just 1 meter, the city will be inundated. So these are really threatening situations that is faced by my country, the Gambia. So I'll go back to you. For you, why is the future worth saving?
We should be thinking in the future generations. When we define which are the next priorities of this generation, which is your generation, the youth movement generation, the ones that are today making things to happen, we should be thinking in the next to come. And I feel that we deserve to give the next generations a better world than the one we receive.
Definitely.
But in order that to happen, we need to activate now. And that's why I'm optimistic, because I felt the power you, the young people, have, and I really believe that we are gonna make it together. And our role in the UN Youth Office is to make and to open spaces for you, the young people, to allow their voice and to put your priorities in the table. Okay, it's your turn now. Why do you think is the future worth saving?
If you look at the population of youth around the world globally, you see that we constitute the majority of most of our population. And that means we are also one of the most disproportionately impacted and vulnerable when climate-related impacts occur. Because over the years, I've seen how climate change has led to the displacement of families. I've seen how climate change has led to unemployment of young people. And I've seen how climate change has also affected the main source of income of young people and also did not allow them to access the quality and the level of education that they need. So at the end of the day, all these policies that we're making, all the promises that we are making in the negotiation rooms and climate decision making is going to impact young people and future generation the most. And it's really sad that these groups of people contribute the least to the growing climate crisis, yet they are the most vulnerable when climate-related hazards occur. So for me, I think it is worth saving the future so that young people and children could live a healthy life, could also enjoy the environment that our forefathers, our ancestors actually enjoyed. And this is something that we have not been able to experience. We do not have the privilege of experiencing this healthy environment. So I think the future is worth saving so that we can also enjoy this, so that we can have a healthier life, we can live longer, and we can also preserve and conserve our environment for the children that are coming after our own children and beyond. So this is why I think we need to save the future. So I'll go back to you to my final question. What's your piece of advice for me?
Okay. I don't usually like to give advice to people. But my comment would be, don't lose your authenticity and your capacity to empower others. You're a leader. I'm sure you've reached here with a lot of challenges in your life.
Definitely.
But don't lose your believings that making a change is possible. Because when you talk, I believe you, and I think that's something really important. What would be your advice to me?
Definitely. I have a lot of advice for you because this position is very important, and for the first time we have a Youth and Youth Affairs office. So this means we have an office entirely, responsible for handling and managing the affairs of young people within the United Nations and beyond. So my advice to you as our youth head is to make sure that first you consult as many young people as possible. Make sure that when decisions are made on behalf of youth around the world, they are consulted, they are brought on the table, because for far too long, young people have been crying for a seat in the decision-making processes. And my final advice to you is to see your office making sure that you leverage on the existing networks that we have in place. For instance, we have really major networks within the youth space that have been able to mobilize thousands of young people to get them involved in the UNFCCC process and other processes beyond the UNFCCC. So leverage on these networks, build on these networks, and make sure you build solid partnerships with this network, and that way you're going to have really good allies and friends in the space that will always continue to work with you and will always be very eager to come to your office to share any recommendations that they have with you, not only on climate but on every major development issues that will need your attention. So these are my two advice for you and your office.
Thank you.
Thank you.